What's up, guys? So, this story takes place literally yesterday. Well, yesterday as of recording, but my sisters came running in the house and yelling my name, and I was like, What? What is going on? And then, as soon as I heard them like yell my name a couple times, and then I hear a gunshot go off, and I was like, What the fuck? And I was like on my phone, so I tossed my phone on the table and ran outside. And my dad was like, "Yeah, I just killed a big ass rattlesnake," and I was like, "What? That's crazy." But he wanted to keep the head of it, so or no, he didn't want to keep the head. He wanted to keep the tail, but it was like still moving because of the nerves. So we chopped the head off and then chopped the tail off, and we tossed the head over the fence. Because I don't know if y'all know this or not, but rattlesnakes can still inject you with venom even if their head's chopped off or even if they're dead. So even if you kill one, steer clear of its fangs because it'll still try to bite you. It's crazy. But we threw the head over, and then my dad kept the rattle, and then he goes to throw the rest of the snake away. And I was like, whoa, you can't do that. We can't just throw the snake out. It's way too big to just toss. I was like, I'm going to gut it, and I'm going to keep its skin. And my dad was like, yeah, right. Because I've only done this a few times, and it's been a long time since I've ever skinned anything. But I was like, I'm going to skin it. So I Googled it real quick. It was like, cut it down the belly, and then you can peel the skin off, and then you can gut it. And you can eat. You can actually eat rattlesnake. You can eat any snake, actually. But I was surprised because rattlesnakes are poisonous, but you can actually eat it. But my dad was like, I don't care what you do, but I'm going for a walk. So he starts going for a walk, and I start cutting down the belly and start trying to peel the skin off. And the whole time I'm doing this, it's like bugging me out because it's still moving, even though it doesn't have a head. It moves all around the table and stuff. It was freaking me out, dude. But I cut it. I had to go through like three or four different things. I had these like kitchen scissors, and that wasn't working at first. So I went and I got a knife, and the knife wasn't cutting it. So I went and got a razor blade, and I started off with a razor blade, and then I cut it with the scissors, and then I peeled back the hide, and I got about halfway done with peeling the hide off of the snake, and halfway through me pulling on it, it wrapped around my hand and it scared the shit out of me. So I threw it. Like I threw it back and threw it into a bucket. My brother was like, "What are you doing, dude?" I was like, "You didn't see that? It just wrapped around my hand. It tried to bite me without a head." He's like, "Damn, that's crazy," and he stopped messing with it. Or he didn't. He didn't even get close to it. But I stopped messing with it for a second, and then I pulled it back up on the table, and I started peeling the rest of it off. And I got the hide off, and then I put it on the table above the like guts and stuff, and I started clearing all that out, scraped it out, threw in a bucket, tossed it in the woods, and then I I started asking my brother. I was like, "Dang, dude, what do I do with this now?" And he was like, "I don't know. I'll Google it." And he Googles it, and he goes, "Dude, you were supposed to wash it first." And I was like, "Oh, no way, for real?" Like, all right, well, I guess I'll just put it on the table and start scrubbing it. So I started scrubbing away at it with it like spread out, kind of started rubbing it with the rag and cleaning it up, and then I got it all cleaned, and then I was like, all right, now what do I do? He's like, I don't know, I guess you're on your own. And then my dad came back, and he was like, you should let me call my uncle. He knows how to do it. Call him, and he tells me how to do it, and I threw it in a Ziploc baggie, and I threw it in the refrigerator because you can let it sit in the fridge for a little while if you don't want to mess with it right away. But I threw it in the fridge, and the next day at work, I'm talking to my dad on the phone. I'm like, we can actually eat it, and he's like, well, I didn't tell you, but before we got it, I thought you could eat it too. But when I was on the phone with my friend, he said that he asked me if it bit itself after I shot it. And I was like, yeah. And I was like, what do you mean it bit itself? And he's like, yeah. So after I shot it, it turned its head and bit itself in the stomach and injected as much venom as it could into it. And I was like, that is actually crazy, bro. I cannot believe that. So I can't eat it, and technically you kind of can. You can actually drink snake venom as long as it doesn't get into your bloodstream. Now I'm not saying do this. Don't do it. It's incredibly stupid, and there's no benefit to it at all. But technically, venom can go through your entire like eating, like whatever you call them, eating organs. It'll go through all that, but it can't get into your bloodstream, or it'll start to kill you essentially. But you can technically eat it. I'm not gonna risk it because I'm not about to eat that venom meat in the refrigerator. But it is what it is. I got the skin though. I'm gonna keep working on it. I got it sitting in some, like, I don't even know what it's called. It's sitting in something that's for it, but I'm gonna have it all cleaned up here soon. I'm the Master Chief, I'm bringing